The subtitle of The Ordinary Hero is Living the Cross and Resurrection, and that really sums up what the book is about. It's about how those great events should shape our lives, how they imprint themselves on the life of a Christian. So the book begins with the pardon of the cross, the grace and forgiveness that we have through the death of Jesus, how we now are accepted graciously by God and have standing before him, and how that then gives us a humble confidence as we go through life. And then it looks at the path of the cross. And it's very striking when you look at the New Testament that again and again, when the writers call Christians to a certain way of living, they don't so much point to the life of Jesus as to the death of Jesus and to the sacrifice, submission, self-denial that we see there modelled in the death of Jesus. His path of love, seen in the cross, is to be the decisive mark of all aspects of Christian living. And that's really important. Jesus himself, when he called us to be his disciples, called us to deny ourselves, to take up our cross and follow him. And that really sets the standard for all aspects of our lives. And that works right from volunteering to do the dishes, right up to being willing to be martyred. All the way through, it's the cross that is shaping us. And then we go on and look at some aspects, I think, of biblical truth and of Reformed theology that are often missed these days, and particularly the idea of hiddenness. So we look at how we as Christians have power, the power of the resurrection, the life of the resurrection, the freedom of the resurrection, but in this life they take a kind of hidden form as we wait for the revealing of Christ's glory. So we have power, but it's power to be weak. We have life, but it's life to die. We have freedom, but it's freedom to serve. In other words, we live the life of the resurrection, but what it looks like in this life is the way of the cross. And then finally we go on and finish with the promise of the resurrection, because the resurrection is the beginning and the promise of a whole new creation. And it's that hope that inspires and motivates us as Christians. As Christians, we live not for the treasures of this earth, but for the treasures of heaven. And that is the thing that then shapes us and keeps us going and makes us sacrificial as we follow the way of the cross. So this is a book about how we live ordinary life, but because we live it in the life of these extraordinary events of the cross and resurrection, then our lives can be extraordinary too, that they can be heroic, even in the midst of all the ordinariness of our lives.